Hello, I'm Scott Poynton, and welcome to People, Planet, Profit, another Kui podcast. I'm just back from a fascinating week in Thailand. I was invited to travel there by Nestlé's Benjamin Ware, who had organised a responsible sourcing studio, a week-long induction boot camp for his newly formed responsible sourcing team. 9 brave troopers and Benjamin himself, who leads the team, engaged very fully indeed in a week of gruelling activities. The team assembled on Sunday, February 12th, having flown in from all over the world, 2 coming from as far away as Panama. We were up very early each morning to catch flights to different parts of the country and returned weary but thoughtful late each evening. On the Monday, rising at 3 a.m, we travelled to Ranong in the country's southwest to visit one of Thailand's largest fishing ports. Benjamin wanted the team to better understand the conditions faced by migrant labourers from Myanmar in the fishing industry. On Tuesday, we travelled to Khon Kaen in the northeast to visit a sugar company. There we went to the field to meet cane cutters and to experience firsthand the conditions they work under by cutting cane ourselves. On Wednesday, we travelled to the far south, to Krabi, where we visited a smallholder oil palm grower, harvested some fresh fruit bunches, and then visited a cooperative palm oil mill. On Thursday, we boarded a demonstration fishing boat that Nestlé is developing with local and international partners to understand what might be possible to support improved working conditions in the industry. On our last day, mercifully free from travel, the team presented their thoughts on what they had learned. They're an inspiring group of young people who will now work with Nestlé procurement teams around the world to support the development of the country's responsible sourcing program. In this first podcast from Thailand, I speak with Benjamin to get his insights into the reasoning behind the responsible sourcing studio and his thoughts on how the week had progressed. I also speak with my earthworm colleague, Julian Troussier. Julian and I had been invited to coach the group during the week, and I speak with Pan from Verite, a global NGO working in company supply chains to support human rights. And lastly, Johan Namesh from Oxfam also joined the team to coach, and Johan shares his thoughts on how it had all progressed. As a strong proponent of the need to pursue responsible sourcing, I was so impressed that Nestlé had supported the team's development in such a focused, deep dive way. It augurs well for the future. It really was an uplifting week. I hope you enjoy People, Planet, Profit, a podcast about Nestlé's responsible sourcing studio. Hello everybody, we're here in Thailand and I'm here with Benjamin Ware from Nestlé, who's in charge of responsible sourcing at Nestlé. G'day Benjamin, how are you?
Hi Scott, I'm good.
Responsible sourcing, give us the 10-word definition of what does that mean?
It's all about, knowing from where our ingredients are coming from and understanding how they have been made.
Okay, so here we are in Thailand. We've been out here all week. Tell us what we're doing here. What was the purpose of the week?
Yeah, so first, we have not been only the 4 of us. We have been 14 all together with the responsible sourcing team of Nestlé as a whole. It was a boots underground experience, so not a workshop plugged into a meeting room. It was all about going in the field, on the fishing vessels and meeting people, meeting the planet, understanding the opportunities and the challenges of what we do in sustainability.
Who's been with us, mate? We've had, as you said, there's 14 people. We've got 3 other folk in the room here. We'll come to those in a second. But you've had your responsible sourcing team, 9 people here. Tell us a bit about them, where they're from, and what do they do?
Yeah, so a crew of 9 located in 3 different locations in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, Panama, and in Switzerland. Basically, different assignments, either commodity, upstream, end-to-end, from tier 1 suppliers until the origin, like palm oil, pulp and paper, hazelnuts, soya, sugar, etc., or a deep focus on tier 1, on supplier tier 1 facilities. So very different profile, very different experiences, each of them coming from either a background of supply chain procurement or coming from NGO, human rights NGOs or environmental sustainability advocacy groups. Some people that were at Nestlé in already a sourcing position in charge of responsible sourcing before, ranging from 28 years old as the youngest to 43 years old as the oldest. So quite a young team. Average age is 37. gender balance 50-50, full of different ideas, innovations, but all with the same passion for it.
Okay, so it's been an extraordinary week of getting up very early to catch planes, to go out and visit the field operations. What have we been up to?
Yeah, so the week has been organized with a mood of going surprise after surprise after surprise. So they didn't know what we were going to do each day. They just knew the location and kind of the commodity. We started Monday going to Ranong, so west coast of Thailand, close to Myanmar, to actually follow the migrant route, the route that the migrant workers are taking from Myanmar, entering into Thailand. Then we went north to Quen Quen to actually meet with sugar farmers, sugar smallholders, diversifying their production income. Then we went south to Krabi to go and meet with palm oil producers, with mills and cooperatives, and went back to Bangkok to join actually CIFTEC, the Southeast Asia Fishery Development Center, which is helping us to build up a demonstration vessel for the fishing industry in Southeast Asia.
So looking at the issues in all of those supply chains, in fisheries, in the palm oil and in the sugar, just to see what the farmers were doing, how your suppliers were reacting, just trying to get the team a sense of, as you say, boots on the ground, what's really happening out here in the bush.
Yeah, it's really all about meeting the people and discussing with them. So responsible sourcing is really something which is close to the human interaction. So you need to discuss with people, with farmers, to understand their daily life, to understand what they eat, to understand what they would like, their aspiration, what they want for their kids, and then understand that what we see as issues and challenges in the Western world may be actually opportunities for them. So the objective of this week was really to engage with them, to hold their hands, to spend time with them without coming with our standards and requirements, and just learn from them. So some of the farmers have diversified the crops that they grow. They have actually clearly explained us that they earn more money with the new cash crops that they have grown, that they became examples for the community. So it's also good for the team to realize that when you test innovation, when you dare actually to dream, to test something new, most of the time first it will succeed, and then second you will become an example for the rest of the community, and we all aspire to be an example for the other and to have a positive footprint on the planet. So that was more or less the mindset. The second angle to it is, so we've talked about people, was the planet. So palm oil, sugar cane, it's described as monoculture in many locations, in many countries. And actually some of these farmers demonstrated us that it's not, it can be something else than just a monoculture. So we went to practice ourselves to cut sugar cane, to wear gloves and do that only for half an hour, but half an hour is already half an hour.
In the sun and the heat?
In the sun, in the heat, 35 degrees, and understanding that, it's pain in the back, and you need drinking water, and you need to be protected well, and you need to be trained well. And again, coming with a list of requirements is not making the job unless you train the people how to make it. So it's very important for Nestlé and for us individually, as individual trying to footprint positively the world, to meet those, to be in their shoes, to do their jobs, and then to go back in our location and design activities, operations, templates, tools that will actually fit their needs. So that's really the ambition of Nestlé. It's let's do it first us, and once we have done it, we can maybe ask the other to do it.
Okay, so boots on the ground. We're going to pass over to Julian now. There's other aspects. Julian's going to talk to us about the earthworm program. Julian Troussier, my earthworm co-conspirator. What have we been doing out here, Julian? How's earthworm linked in with what Benjamin's doing with his team out here?
Well, it was an unusual experience for us, a new experience, because it was really the first time we were engaging with a member in that way. And it was also unusual because it was very much action driven. So as Benjamin described, we were very much on the ground, and the program also was, we discovered a lot of things with you. And so it was very adaptive and so very creative. We have to work with life, with what was happening. And I think that's very much in the spirit of deep learning that we want to encourage through Earthworm. And I guess it was a lot of action, but reflection in action, which makes it so valuable, I think, is that as we were talking about values, about being on the ground and open to what was happening in front of you, open to the people, open to the environment, straight away the team could experience it and feel the tensions that might exist between
the Ranong fish market, for example.
The Ranong fish market, where you arrive straight away in this chaos, and you try and make sense of what's happening and open your mind to what people are doing without having necessarily preconceptions, and then step back together, still in the noise, still in the chaos, but discussing about what did we see and how does that relate to our beliefs, our values, and what can we do about it that's meaningful, practical. And so it was very, for us as well, I think, as coaches, like Benjamin said, it was a very rewarding and intense experience.
So Benjamin, you've come out with your team here, your 9 colleagues and yourself, but here we have these other 4 strange people in the room to do the interview. Who else have we got here with us, and why are they here?
So we have Pan from Verité. So why Verité is here, and why it is Pan? Because I really truly admire what Verité does in regards to understanding people. So really taking the time to ask the right question, again, put themselves into the shoes of the people that they interview, and design actually solutions for them. So it's an organization which for me really work for the people. It's a bit like the mirror of TFT in regards to the planet, and that's why I have invited you too. We have also Johan from Oxfam. He was invited by Nestlé, by me and Duncan, actually, because of his experience and his broad knowledge of the end-to-end supply chain, and also what the competition is doing. So Oxfam is very well known for their capabilities to, analyze things, give advice, be critical, but be friends as well. And it was very important for Nestlé not only to invite partners, so we are in partnership with Verité, we are in partnership with TFT, but we are not in partnership with Oxfam. And it was important for me that the team is not coached by me, the team lead, but it's coached by externals, because responsible sourcing is all about serving the world, the people, the planet, the profit. So they cannot be coached by the team lead, they have to be coached by externals, and that's why all of you guys have been kindly invited, and I'm so glad that you were here.
And suffering along with the rest of the team, doing the work in the field. So Julian, what was the highlight of the week for you? We've done lots of things, as Benjamin mentioned. We've been cutting cane, we've been getting up at ridiculous hours in the morning, we've harvested a bit of palm oil as well, palm oil fruits. What was the highlight for you in terms of the team? Just to say, our job here is really to see the development of the team, isn't it? To support the development of the team and their connection to their values and values-driven leadership. So what did you see as the week unfolded with the 10 people, because Benjamin was participating too?
It's hard to choose a highlight, really. I think what struck me is from the beginning how they're all really engaged and really willing to learn, to participate. There was not any moment where I felt people were on the back foot. I think the most interesting and rewarding moments were the difficult ones. We didn't plan them. I don't think Benjamin planned the difficult moments we might have had, but when there was tension and maybe the group and all of us felt a bit unsure about what to do, facing a situation, facing people in the field. That's when we learned the most. I think all of us. We talk about being in the edge of chaos. as the place where, well, you have no choice but innovate and adapt and try to open yourself to what's around you. And I think that's what we saw. It might have been difficult sometimes, clumsy at times, but everyone did it with such a good spirit and care for the people in front of them, being a company, being a smallholder, that it turned out to be good for everyone involved, I think, and very rewarding for all of us in terms of practical learning in the end, very vivid practical learning.
You're listening to a Cooey podcast with Scott Poynton. Read about this episode and listen back to more Cooey podcasts at scottpoynton.com.
So we've got Pan from Verite. Pan, tell us, who is Verite?
So Verite is a global labor advocate. So we work with global brands to help them assess and understand the labor situation in their supply chain, assess the risk for humane working conditions, forced labor, human trafficking, and then really provide consultancies and partnerships to help them address those risks and reduce those risks.
Okay, and how long have you been with Verite, mate?
2 years.
2 years. And what's your main area of work that you're focusing on?
So I primarily work in seafood and electronics. I've been working with Verite for 2 years. So I do research, a bit of audits, and also stakeholder engagement. Okay,
so Benjamin's called you up, said we're coming to Thailand and we want a boot camp for the team. I think you've obliged, you've organised some terrific things. How have you seen the week unfold, mate, in terms of the development of this relatively young team that Nestlé, Benjamin's assembled to come out here? How have you seen the week unfold for you?
It's very interesting because all of them are experts in their own fields. They come with a set of technical expertise, technical tools, and systems and processes that they've been able to use in various different roles that they were in before. And so the week was special for me because I was able to witness how they were able to wrestle and understand the relationship of and see how their policies, systems, and processes really interacted with people on the ground. For instance, having the team on the ground and being able to meet with sugarcane farmers, holding the tools, understanding how heavy or light or hard it is to wield those tools, the techniques involved, the environment that they're in, and the circumstances under which these things are harvested, I think really gave them an insight into the realities of the systems and policies that the realities of the situation these systems and processes are supposed to manage and reduce risks. Slowly throughout the journey, they were able to connect with farmers and understand the people that were responsible for producing the products that they use, and slowly connect with them on a personal basis. So I think that connection was quite powerful, and I think it gave them an insight into just really the experience of the people who are on the other end of the supply chain. And I think that those experiences hopefully is going to be a starting point of that journey for them to understand that when they design policies and processes, these are the realities on the other end of the supply chain.
They can see the people who are affected by what they're doing in their day. With as you say, with the policies and the standards that they look at, they can connect now to those people at the far distant, often invisible ends of the supply chain, right?
Definitely. So now I think there were moments that I think were quite memorable. Different team members interacted with, let's say, local farmers in different ways. In the last couple of days, we've overheard conversations of them asking about their children, asking about their passions, their dreams, how they felt about their craft. And then we get to hear stories from farmers of how they are able to pass the knowledge that their parents passed to them onto the next generations, how they've been able to deal with different circumstances, difficulties along the way. So I think that personal connection is going to be very important.
Terrific, mate. Johan Nemes is from Oxfam. Tell us about Oxfam, mate. Quick one. Many people know Oxfam, but not everyone. Just give us a quick word on Oxfam.
Oxfam does a lot of different activities in the development field, from direct assistance to people that are in need through our humanitarian work. We also do programmatic work with communities, but we also do influencing work and campaigning work. And most recently, our engagement with Nestlé has been actually within the framework of the Behind the Brands campaign. And Nestlé has actually, at one point within that campaign, has even been a target of our public campaigning work. So this, I think, gives you a bit of an idea of what our engagement has been so far.
So Oxfam has targeted Nestlé, and yet here you are, you've been invited to come out here and participate in this program. That's an interesting twist, isn't it?
I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it's a testament of the courage that I think Nestlé is showing in inviting critical partners, critical parties to something like this. They're taking a bit of a risk as well with having me here. They're exposing their responsible sourcing team to a party that in the past has been critical and may be in the future again critical to Nestlé. But we are also, like was said earlier on, we are also ready to have a listening ear and be engaged in a constructive way. And I think this has been my remit for this week. I actually have to say I came here with a good doses of healthy skepticism, I would say, into what is this going to be? What is it going to look like? I had a bit of a doubt of what is this going to come out of it. And I have to say I am impressed with the genuine interest and dedication with which both the team that Benjamin has assembled and Benjamin himself are dedicating to the topics that we've seen, with the genuine self-criticism with which they have done some deep soul searching into what does the impact of sourcing from a farmer mean to them? What does certification mean? How does this combine? What are the limitations of some of these tools? And what is there out there to be further searched and investigating? And I think there is a lot of innovation that is going to come out of this. It's going to be useful for Nestlé.
Highlight of the week, mate? What was hard to name. We should say that Johan and Julian teamed up at one stage and Renong on the Monday morning and pretended to be nasty NGOs and put the team under a lot of pressure. And it was interesting to see the response. I think when we talk to the team, we'll hear about that. But I'm assuming that wasn't your highlight of the week. But if it was, let yourself go. But you talked yesterday about this the rough diamond concept. What did you mean by the rough diamond?
I think what is obvious is that the team, there is a lot of value in this team. They're fairly young, but they're also very open to be critical about what they do and how they engage with their stakeholders, how they engage with the suppliers. It doesn't mean that they will actually do it right. There is the diamond is in there, but it has to be polished out of the gem that is there, and they'll still have to do it. And organizations like Oxfam will be around to make sure that polishing is happening, and it will be there. But I have seen, and I'm going actually back. I said I came here with a dose of skepticism. I'm going back home much more assured that the potential is there. The proof will be in the pudding and in eating it, and we'll be around to watch for that. And I look forward to engage further with Nestlé on these critical issues that we've brought up with them in the past: gender issues, land rights, climate change. These are all things that are very important, and I think that the rough diamond are these people, and I think I go confident that the polishing will happen.
Very good, thanks very much. So Benjamin, time to wrap up, mate. Coming back to you, it's been a fascinating week. It's not over yet. We've got a little bit of work to do tomorrow with the team just to close the event. You're going home with a smile on your face. Do you think you've achieved the goals you set for the boot camp?
Yeah, look, when we were in the sugarcane plantation, the farmer said that he's ready to hire 2 guys out of the team. On the boat cruise today, one of them was with the captain holding the tools and navigating. And we haven't left a field without a smile on the farmer's face. Some of the team members have been holding their hands for 10 or 15 minutes, hanging around like friends. So to me, this is a success. This is the connection that I was looking to achieve.
A lot of human connection happened, didn't it, throughout the whole week within the team? I think the team's grown stronger together. I mean, some of these people have never met each other before. They've only just recently formed. But as you say, with the farmers, I mean, the highlight for me was when we were cutting the sugarcane. At the end, we got everyone together, and you were making just a nice final thanks and presentation. And the lady came up and gave you a big hug and held your hand, and it was they said that this was the first time they'd ever met anyone from one of you're obviously not their customer because the customer is the sugar company, but anyone from beyond the sugar company came to see what they were doing. It made a huge impact on them, I think.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely it's this is the highlight of the week. It's the connection between the people, and actually, if you want to solve most of the environmental challenges that we have ahead of us, if we want to protect the planet, do it through the people. It's the people that affect the planet. So the people is actually the root cause of everything. People, planet, profit. You want to tackle the triple bottom line, tackle the people, make sure that the connection happen, and after actually the things are taking off on their own. So the connection is achieved between the team and the people on the ground. The connection is achieved within the team, as you have said. Some of them I've never met before. It's a fairly new team with very different style and complementary skills. So yes, I'm living with feeling of a bit of joy, also because the joy is coming from the pain and the suffer that we had all together this week. And I'm a firm believer that actually crises are always good to learn and to rise as a phoenix, and that's what I wanted to do this week. I still remember a few years ago when we had our friends from Greenpeace launching the campaign. It's we need to be more proactive, and therefore we need to do our own crisis internally so that we shake our own behaviors, and we don't need actually, or we need less of the Greenpeace and Oxfam of the world to make us raise the sailor.
Well, I think it's been terrific. Thanks so much, mate, for inviting us. I know, Julian, we've enjoyed ourselves enormously. Johan as well. And
yes.
Pans, thanks so much for organising the event for us. It's been a great experience, and we look forward to staying in touch with the team and seeing how they unfold as they enter this new phase of their own careers, responsible sourcing, people, planet and profit, as you said. So let's see what happens. So thanks very much, everybody.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
You've been listening to People, Planet, Profit, a Kui podcast about Nestlé's responsible sourcing studio in Thailand. Much remains to be done to grow the concept of responsible sourcing globally, but it's clear to me that Nestlé's team are at the forefront of that push. In the next Kui podcast, we'll hear from the 9 responsible sourcing troopers themselves on how they felt the week progressed. I'm Scott Poynton. Thanks for listening.